Oh hi. Copenhagen, the capital and the largest city of Denmark. Slotsholmen, an amateur, settles down on island Zealand. The population of the historic town makes a little more than 600,000 people, with suburbs, more than 1.3 million inhabitants. The part of the city, the self-proclaimed Free City of Christiania, is on partial self-government. The city is the cultural, economic and government center of Denmark. It is one of the largest financial centers of Northern Europe with the Copenhagen Stock Exchange. After completion of construction of Øresundski Bridge, Copenhagen it was more closely integrated with the Swedish province of Scania and its largest city of Malmö, forming the Øresundski region. The University of Copenhagen, founded in 1479, is the oldest university in Denmark. In 1043, on the place of the modern city, the fishing village of Han is mentioned, near which in 1167 the lock was constructed. The city which grew from this village and the lock in 1231 was called Købmandsgården. Merchant pier. A modern Danish form of the name dates Copenhagen. Russian-speaking Copenhagen version appeared under the influence of the German form of a toponym Copenhagen. The insignificant small village of Han, which the Bishop Absalon, after construction of the lock in 1167, turned into the strengthened city, was in the place of Copenhagen in the 12th century. In 1254 Copenhagen received the first city privileges. In 1416 the King Erik Pomeransky conquered Copenhagen and in 1433 made it the residence. During Count War, Copenhagen sustained a cruel siege, and in 1658-1659 was heroically protected from Swedes. In 1728 the Copenhagen fire destroyed more than a quarter of city constructions. In 1807 Copenhagen strongly suffered from bombing of British, and the well-known sea fight took place 6 years in a townscape earlier. On the place of old strengthenings from which only the citadel remained, boulevards which quickly expanding suburbs. Vesterbro, Nørrebro and Østerbro, which in recent years almost merged with the city, adjoin or broken. In the economic relation, a single whole with the city is made also Frederiksberg in the west of 46954 inhabitants. Utterslev in the northwest, 2596 inhabitants. And Zundbyern on the island of Amager, 13310 inhabitants. Copenhagen is strengthened by strong sea forts. Despite disasters of the beginning of the 19th century, Copenhagen endured the period of the intensive cultural creativity known as the Golden Age of Denmark. By the beginning of the 20th century, Copenhagen became the prospering industrial and administrative city. After construction of a new town hall and the railway station, the center moved to the west. A northern part of Amager and Valby were also included in Copenhagen in 1901-02. As a result of a neutrality of Denmark during World War I, Copenhagen prospered from trade both with Great Britain and with Germany, and the city was protected by about 4,000 soldiers for the period of war. In the 1920th, inhabitants had serious deficiency of goods and housing. There were plans to demolish an old part of Christianshavn and to get rid of the worst city slums. However, only in the 1930th significant housing constructions, with destruction of one side of Torvegade Street in Christianshavn followed to construct 5 big houses. In 2013, Copenhagen won first place in the rating of the cities of the world, most suitable for accommodation, made by the British magazine Monocle. Copenhagen, the most inhabited city in Denmark and one of the largest in the Scandinavian countries. The Copenhagen municipality, in the main city, minus 591,481 inhabitants. Since January 1, 2016. In the 1990th and first decade of the 21st century there was a demographic boom, generally because of immigration to Denmark. Climate of the city moderate C. Very small annual fluctuations of temperature are characteristic of climate of Copenhagen. The summer is very cool, winter very soft. Sights. World famous symbol of the city, a statue of the Little Mermaid. Main churches. Christ Redeemer's Church, with a tower in 90 meters of height. Its so-called Women's Lutheran Church destroyed by British in 1807 during bombing, and in 1811-1829 again built up by Gansen in style of a basilica, with a colonnade and the well-known marks by Thorvaldsen. Christ. 12 Apostles. Frederick's Church. Grundtvig Church. Orthodox Alexander Nevsky Church. Palaces/locks and parks. Palaces. The former royal residence Rostensburg. I burned down in 1884. Only the palace church remained and the art gallery is saved. The winter residence. In the Louis XV style. In style of the Netherlands Renaissance. With the park and Hans Christian Andersen statue. Still university buildings. With historical frescoes. Bristol Hotel, the Bias and Exchanges. In style of the Netherlands Renaissance. Town halls, art museum are remarkable. In the downtown near the central station the Tivoli Park is located. In the north from Copenhagen, in Klampenborg, there is Bakken, the oldest amusement park in the world. The park was opened in 1583. The full name of the park, Dyrhavsbakken, is translated as the Servine Park on the Hill. Entrance to the park free. In the neighborhood of Copenhagen the royal castles Bernstorff and Fredensborg. Residence of the Danish monarchs. The Danish royal porcelain manufactory are located. To the west from the city, Frederiksberg. The State Museum of Art was constructed in 1889-1896 by the architect 5. Dallerup. Here ancient works of arts since 12th century and the modern art are stored. In the museum Rubens, Rembrandt, Bruegel, Matisse, Lucas Cranach, Filippo Lippi's works and many others are presented. Here one of the best collections of the Danish painting, Christopher Wilhelm Eckersberg, Anna and Michael Anscher, Konstantin Hansen is stored. The basis of the museum was made by a collection of the King Christian IV, who began to form by the first of the Danish monarch's own collection of pictures. The National Museum of Denmark. The largest cultural and historical museum of Denmark. It is opened in 1892. His collection, containing a large number of exhibits, illustrates the history of Denmark and the neighboring northern countries since prehistoric times. Results of excavation in Egypt, Greece and Rome are presented in the antique section. Here it is possible to see clothes and tools of Inuits, runic stones, objects from medieval churches. Thorvaldsen's Museum. Unique collection of works of the famous Danish sculptor Bertel Thorvaldsen. 1770-1844. The exhibition Contemporary Art Center, Nicolai, is located in the downtown, belongs to the city authorities of Copenhagen. Exhibitions of the Danish and foreign artists and sculptors are regularly exhibited. Glyptotek New Carlsberg is known for the extensive collection of works of art of ancient Egypt, the countries of the East and also Greece and Italy. Sculptures of the antique period are the center of a meeting. The department of Etruscans is considerable. The French painting of the 19th century is presented. Degas, Renoir, Sisley, Cézanne, K. Monet, Chagall, Kandinsky's drawings, Picasso's lithographs. 36 cloths of Gauguin, who lived several years in Denmark. A collection of Orthodox icons, painting and a sculpture of Denmark of the Golden Age. The museum grew from a collection of the sculptures. Glyptotek. Presented to the city by Carl Jacobsen, the founder of New Carlsberg Brewery, and is constructed on the project of the architect 5. Dahlerup. It is opened in 1897. The Rosenberg Lock. The only palace of an era of the King Christian IV. 1577-1648. Which remained without changes from the moment of completion of construction in 1633. Here the richest collection of jewelry and jewelry of the Danish royal family, a meeting of royal porcelain and silver, is exposed. Meeting of Hirschprunge. One of the best collections of the Danish art of the 19th century, obliged by the existence to the Danish tobacco magnate Heinrich Hirschprunge. 1836-1908. The Museum Ordrepart. A small but the first-class collection of the French Impressionists. Manet, Pissarro, Degas, Gauguin. The museum is in a northern part of Copenhagen in the old mansion completed by the British Iraqi architect Zaha Hadid. The Danish Royal Maritime Museum. The museum devoted to the history of the Danish Royal Navy, which grew from the meeting of models of the ships founded at the end of the 17th century. Wax Museum of Louis Tussaud's, more than 200 wax works, halls of kings, politicians and statesmen of the 20th century, artists, musicians are presented here. There is a gallery of fairy tale characters and sellers of horrors. In 1885, Bengt Olsen, who was before the director of the Tivoli Park, opened the first wax museum in Denmark. He existed about 20 years, but was closed as the public lost to him interest. The present museum was opened in 1974. The Museum of Asensuality was founded in 1992 by the filmmaker and photographer Ole and Kim Raesfeldt-Clausen. In 1994, the Museum of Asensuality was moved to one of the most beautiful buildings of Strøget Street in the center of Copenhagen and is there to this day. The Museum of Asensuality in Copenhagen narrates about development of asensuality during different eras by means of the presented exhibits. It is pictures, cards, photos, magazines, sculptures, videos, sex toys and Massachusetts of other curious things. Here also the exhibits telling about intimate life of the famous people, such as H.K. Anderson, Marilyn Monroe and others are exposed. It is closed in the spring of 2010. Royal Theatre. The largest theatre of Denmark, founded in the 18th century and which is the first national theatre. New Theatre. The Drama Theatre opened on September 19, 1908. Opera Theatre. One of the latest and most expensive opera theatres in the world. Is under authority of Royal Theatre of Denmark. The Theatrical House. Drama Theatre under the authority of Royal Theatre of Denmark. At Town Hall Square in 1901-1902, Wilhelm Fischer constructed the Bristol Hotel, awarded in 1903 with the first prize of Municipality of Copenhagen. The hotel in which the famous composer Tchaikovsky pleased the audience with the playing a violin competed with the Palace Hotel, lying in close proximity, and lost. After bankruptcy in 1917, the Absalon Insurance Company located the headquarters here. Even today over gate, Absalon Guard, Absalon the Yard is written. In the mid-80s the building was bought by the newspaper company which uses it as press at home, debt-free actualt. In the southwest from the downtown it is possible to look at the modern residential area of Slusekulmen, penetrated by water channels. In channels of this area the tourist can be engaged in surfing. Other area, popular with tourists, Nyhavn, who is built up with multicolored townhouses. In 2001 and 2014 Copenhagen it was chosen as the city of holding a song contest, the Eurovision. Since 2010 in the city the annual festival of heavy music of open air Copenhagen is held. Education. University of Copenhagen was founded in 1479 and became one of the first in the north of Europe. The Round Tower, where since 1642 the astronomical observatory is located, is distinguished from buildings of the university. The Danish Royal Academy of Fine Arts, a higher educational institution, is founded in 1754. Copenhagen is large economic and financial center of Denmark. The city economy is based generally on services sector and trade. Statistical data for 2010 show that the vast majority of card workers in Copenhagen are engaged in services sector, first of all transport and communication, trade and finance, while it is less than 1,000 work in manufacturing industry. From 2006 to 2011 national economy grew by 2.5% in Copenhagen, while in the rest of Denmark dropped approximately by 4%. Several financial institutions and banks have the headquarters in Copenhagen, including Alm Brand Dansk Bank, Nykredit and Nordea Bank Denmark. The Copenhagen Stock Exchange, CES, was founded in 1620 and now owns belongs. Copenhagen is also the house for a number of the international companies, including A.P. Møller Maersk Group, Novo Nordisk, Carlsberg and Novozymes. The city authorities encourage development of business clusters in several innovative sectors, to which information technologies, biotechnologies, pharmaceutics, environmentally friendly technologies and solutions of the smart city belong. The biology is one of the major sectors with huge research activity. Navigation is one more important sector with Maersk, the world's largest shipping company having the headquarters in Copenhagen. In the city there are an industrial harbor, the Copenhagen port. After decades of stagnation it endured revival since 1990, after merge to the port of Malmö. Both ports are under authority of Copenhagen Malmö Port. Sir. Copenhagen has some of the highest salaries in the world. High taxes mean that the salary decreases after obligatory deduction. However, it is also one of the most expensive cities in the world. Copenhagen, the large transport hub in Northern Europe. October 2013 became record month, about 2.2 million passengers, and in November 2013 drawings show that the number of passengers grows approximately for 3% annually, is 50% more than on average in Europe. The subway and two international airports works in the city. Kastrup and Roskilde. On city highways bicycle paths are laid. Daily for trips to work or study about 50% of Copenhagenites use the bicycle. From 1863 to 1972 the tram. Originally the horse tram. And from 1907 to 1971 the trolleybus worked in the city. Since 1993 in the city sometime the Busse went, but their operation wasn't considered successful. Copenhagen has extensive network of highways, including the highways connecting the city to other parts of Denmark and Sweden on Øresundski Bridge. Copenhagen also has daily ferry traffic in Oslo in Norway. In 2012 the Copenhagen harbour processed 372 cruise vessels and cart passengers. From Copenhagen continuous steamship flights to Liepage, to the main ports of Germany, Sweden, Norway, England, France, the Mediterranean and Black Seas, and also to New York depart. In Copenhagen the strongest sports clubs of the country are based. The soccer teams, Copenhagen acts at Parken Stadium, and Brøndby acts at the stadium of the same name. On 10 times won the national championship. In suburbs of the capital some more football clubs are located. One of the most popular team sports in Denmark is the handball, and in Copenhagen the leading men's and women's clubs of the country act. The clubs playing in the highest leagues Ajax, Iden and Hick. Hellerup. There are also teams on rugby, ice hockey here. The oldest club was founded in 1869. The annual Copenhagen Marathon passes in the city since 1980. 5 times Copenhagen hosted the World Cups in highway cycle races. 1931, 1937, 1949, 1956 and 2011. Repeatedly the city hosted also the World Cups in track cycle races. In 2002 and 2010 this competition took place in the suburb of the capital, in Ballerup, on multisports, Ballerup to the Super Arena. In Copenhagen also there took place the World Cups in Europe on such sports as badminton, taekwondo, fencing, handball. In 2015 in the city there took place the Handball World Cup among women. Rhythmic gymnastics. In science. In honor of Copenhagen the asteroid 362. Hafniums opened in 1893 and also chemical element the hafnium discovered in 1923 is called All so far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.